The Ascension Series continues. So it's August 29th. It's Tuesday. I've been sitting here contemplating what to talk about for a bit because I have a lot of messaging coming through. So I'm going to do a live tomorrow on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So Wednesday, the 30th at 1 p.m. Eastern time, if you can join that. I'm going to do some channeled messaging on that day. We've got the full moon vibe, super moon. We have something really big coming in September. I've been saying that a lot, but I want to talk about that today. And tied into the Ascension series of fear is no part of the equation. I really want to talk to what is fear, what is ego, why this is not a bad thing, what to do with it, and removing fear out of the equation. And I want to talk a little bit about what I teach in the Fully Awaken and Ascend program about the quantum entanglement and how we are adding to the outcome of what's about to happen. So I don't want this to be a fear-based conversation. I don't want you to internalize this conversation as fear, but I'm going to talk about some things that are finally surfacing. So man, oh man, where do I start? This morning I dreamt about Okay, let's just go all crazy. I dreamt about the comet that's coming all last night. I've been seeing this comet since January, maybe even before that, actually, knowing it was coming and due to fully arrive on the 23rd of September. I have been inundated this morning with beautiful messages from all of you, with a lot of TikTokers sharing that content about what's coming. So in the monthly forecast, I dive really deep into what it is and how it's going to impact us and the beauty that's actually coming from it. But before I dive into any more of that information, so that's up, the September forecast, it's up. You can grab that. Everything is on diamondno.com. So this is what my morning has been about. A flooding so I dreamt all night about the comet. I dreamt all night about the debris of that has already been landing on Earth. That is what all the flames are. So all of that debris just keeps landing. I know there's a lot of stuff out there in regards to what we think it is because we think that there's this big bad team of people against us. There's division on Earth. That's all. And the whole point of what's coming is unity, and we're going to be forced into unity. And I don't think it's going to be as bad as what we anticipate it being. So that's why I want to talk about the fear piece. So this morning, dreamt about that all night, as in talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. I prefer to do it in our memberships where it's private because there is a lot of information out there and this content is not for everybody. There's going to be quite a few of you that are asking me to return to Jesus. There's going to be quite a few of you that are saying it's my ego. There's going to be quite a few that are like mockery. And I just don't want that energy. So I have kept it private for a very long time, just to not allow that to come into my life. However, I love you guys and you guys are so amazing and supportive, especially here on YouTube. And I love the comments. I love the emails. It allows me to continue to move forward because I am human and sometimes we get a little uncomfortable, right? Okay. So this morning, dreamt about that all night. I come into my office and you guys know that I have a whole shelf behind me of all the gifts that I've received over the last few years from my clientele. So it is covered with unicorns and Care Bears and poems about love and statues, little statues with loves and dragon stuff. Like it's beautiful. And so I came and I sat down and I'm looking at my shelf and the Care Bears kept falling off on their own. And I was like, oh, well, there's something. And then there's a poem that's called The Return to Love and it slipped off. And I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention here. So then I pulled a couple of cards and then I just felt warm hands on my shoulders. And I look up and I have a one love sign that one of my besties got me when we were in Jamaica together doing a retreat. And then that slipped off. And I was like, holy shit, okay, I really need to make this video. So we're going to talk about the unity of love and what that actually is and how it's the opposite of fear. A lot of push to bring this content forward. So you're going to see a lot of content come out in regards to the comet that's coming due to arrive on the 23rd of September. What I will say and what I've shared drastically in that monthly forecast, for those of you that understand what Moldavite is a comet that landed a long, long, long time ago. And it is an accelerator for an energetic accelerator. When you have a piece of that on person, on body, It accelerates your vortex into really finalizing decisions and closing doors to the things that are not great for you. So it's intense, right? We see a lot of people, your inner child shit comes up, your wounds come to the surface with this energy, and it's a transformative look at what you need to look at, heal what you need to heal vibe. This comment that's coming, what I've been shown through the downloads that I get in my meditations, is it's an accelerated version of Moldavite. It is being scattered across our planet right now. It is connecting into the grid line of Earth as she births this unity that she's going through. So I want you to think about, metaphorically, a woman in labor. So she's in labor and she's giving birth to something, to soul, energy, consciousness, right? If there was 10 of us in that room with her, would we be frantic and fighting over if she's doing it right? Is she complaining too much? Is it a different plan and agenda? Is she maybe not in birth? Is she maybe not this? And it's the same thing for us. Sorry, I just got an email that was really alarming on my phone. Okay. So it's the same energy for us as Earth is sort of birthing this new vibe. It's universal coherence. I don't think it's a word. Universal, like togetherness, like the whole universe is conspiring together, universal flow, everything. We're not the only things. Everything is working in union to accelerate unity and love. It's part of the evolutionary process. We are evolving. And sometimes when things are being held back, like humanity destroying Gaia or each other, sometimes we need a little like shove. And that's what's happening right now, is that shove. So this energy that's coming down is supporting the evolution. We really would do well to release fear and to move into trusting this process and navigating this big change that's coming, because there is going to be a lot of fear inundation. There's going to be a lot of fear shit coming out for us right now, as we navigate towards the 23rd of September. I do very much feel that this is an energy that's raining down, not a destruction. However, I have had a pull for a long time to move out of the city, and I've been ignoring it. And everything has been shoving me out of where I reside right now, this home, everything. And all of a sudden, my dream home became available. And within 72 hours, it's mine and it's in the country. So I'm moving next week. And so I'm going to go MIA until after the move. So I'm going to do this video, the live on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And I'm going to go MIA till after the move just to get settled and let these downloads really happen. So I don't think it's coincidental that I'm being relocated. I do feel the relocation is going to be based because of the amount of fear that's going to be happening in our areas. And that's why I want to talk about the fear. So let me get to the point, right? How do we release fear? Why do we need to do this? And what does it mean? So I've shared this a lot, but let's just go over the very basics again. There's 5 steps to creating anything, and then we use quantum entanglement universal law to add to that flow, okay? So the 5 steps of you creating your reality, or anything creating reality that's soul-based, human-based, is your beliefs that reside in your subconscious vibrate. Those beliefs become an emotional vibration through the body, which is a frequency. That frequency becomes the lens, the perception you are seeing through. That becomes your outcome. That's it. So if we are residing in fear, we're creating a very low, stagnant vibration. Fear moves very slow like this, and high vibration is love, unity, togetherness, and it's very fast and quick. So it's a quicker transition of energy and a quicker receiving of energy. We'll put it like that. So if we are residing in fear, we are adding to our outcome and the stagnation of the heaviness of moving out of fear. So you're going to have a slow, consistent, I don't like this feeling, I don't like this feeling, I don't like this result outcome. So pause that. 2 operating mechanisms in the body. I think this is really powerful information. And we are taught in 4th dimensional consciousness, which is the whole Oprah book club movement, the whole spiritual movement, the whole love and light movement, the whole ego is bad movement. We are taught that our ego is to be shunned, that you need to have an ego death. We have a human body with 2 operating mechanisms. for a reason, not to kill one of them or shun one of them or shame one of them. Your ego is your alarm system. It's also responsible for your personality, your pleasure, your joy, your human experience. Then you have soul compass. To merge those two, to work together, to look at the ego like a wild stallion. This is your compass. This is your map. This is your wild stallion. This is your vessel for moving through your human experience. If you allow it to be in a low vibration, greed, selfish, fear, lack mentality, it's going to be a wild stallion that is not very happy and doesn't move along with you. It's going to hold you back. If you befriend, love, honor, train your ego, that stallion, you can mount the stallion, use your map, and arrive at destinations that are more serving with more ease. So this is not something to be shunned. I got a comment because I did the whole like fold your fucks into paper airplanes video on TikTok, and I got this one comment like, "That's your ego, and you're not spiritual." And I'm like, "Oh, honey, that's not it. I have a personality. We all do, and I'm never going to attack. I'm never going to tell someone they're not spiritual. That's for sure. I'm not going to judge. This is an evolutionary process. We're all at different phases, and it doesn't matter where you are. What matters is what is your desired outcome for yourself and the collective, and then contribute towards that, or be greedy. Like, cool, like there's dark and light on the planet. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So when we go back to that creation steps, right? If we're residing in fear, we are going to add to the outcome of more fear. All of the conspiracy videos that are out there are very fear inundated. I feel that it's horrifically fearful. The information that's going to come out about this comment is going to be very fear-based. The agenda, very fear-based. The blue roofs, blue umbrellas, very fear-based. The lasers out of the sky, fear-based. The poke or not poke, fear-based. We're being smothered with it. I choose not to partake in that, and that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm not partaking in it. I am listening to my ascended guides. I am listening to my map. I do not desire to add to fear. So this is the entanglement quantum kind of piece, okay? Very simplistic. All of this is in the program Fully Awaken and Ascend in great, great, great detail. But the basic thing I want to share is the majority of thought will always be the outcome, individually and collectively. Thought is free will. We have free will. When we look at how things are created through the quantum realm, it is created through thought. When we perceive something, observe something, the intention we have towards it becomes our perception, our reality. So whatever we are thinking, and that thought coming from your deep belief, whether that's fear or love-based, thriving-based energy, whatever hand you're in there, that's going to become the outcome. So the observer and the observed become one. They become the same thing. The majority of thought becomes the outcome. So if your majority of thought is fear-based, there's your outcome. I want you to reflect for a minute. Has the majority of your thought, perception, focus been on lack? Lack of finances, lack of love, lack of soul purpose, lack of flourishing, there's going to be evidence that that's where you are. Easier said than done. I understand that. It's not as simple as like, oh, well, I'll just think positive thoughts and everything's going to be fine. That's toxic. That's not going to work either at all, because your beliefs are in that vibration. Everything vibrates. The law of vibration, law of attraction is responding to creating with you, with universal flow, the outcome. So fake positive is super toxic. It's not going to work either. So what do we do, right? One, don't look for the things you don't want to see. Like, ignorance is bliss, and you're not going to solve the problem. You're not going to create change. You are not going to add to the solution by obsessing or thinking or perceiving or absorbing or submerging yourself in the problem at all. And this is one of the universal secrets that the elite have held back from us. The majority of your thought, what you are looking at, what you are focusing on, is going to become the outcome. So, of course, there's a lot of conspiracies about who's worshiping the devil, what the elite are doing, the blue roofs, blue umbrellas, laser beams, the poke not poke, the artificial intelligence, because we're taking the bait. We're taking the bait and being like, conspiracy, hash it apart. Look at everything that's wrong. Look at everything that's wrong. Look at everything that's wrong. Universal flow, the universal flow only responds to what you are like, focus, not choice. So when we go into this focus of this is wrong, this needs to be corrected, da 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 da, we think, oh my God, we want to create this change because awareness brings change, right? But we're adding to what we're focusing on, which is the corruption, the challenges, the lack of unity. So as we're navigating through September, specifically up until the 23rd, very intensely up until the 23rd, but even the week starting the 11th, you're going to feel it on the 10th, the 11th, all the way through to the 23rd, it's going to be fear, overwhelm. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces. Move yourself out of fear. So we're going to keep telling the story of trust. Don't look for the things you don't want to see. Put blinders on. It's 2 weeks. You've got nothing to lose. Put blinders on. Do whatever it takes to put your ego at ease. If you feel you need to stock up on stuff in case, do it. If you feel you need to get on a plane, do it. If you feel you need to take holidays up to Canada, do it. If you feel you need to take money out of the bank, whatever, do it. Do it. Because then your ego is going to calm down. Train it. Allow it. Give it permission to calm down. Anxiousness. I don't want to hear I have anxiety. I have horrible ascension symptoms. Stop it. No, you don't. You are experiencing something. Tell your body what to do with it. Give your ego a job. Give your body a job. If you keep saying, I have, you're telling your body to do it. So instead, you can say, I'm experiencing some anxiousness. That's interesting. It's moving through me. Look at me being human. How interesting. Or, and I know because I have experienced crippling anxiety in the past, crippling to the point where I couldn't even leave my bedroom. I've experienced depression to the point of suicide attempts. I have experienced chronic, I've experienced cancer. I've experienced chronic autoimmune disorders. I've had a lot of experiences. I know how hard this is. I'm on the other side now. I've navigated through it. I've arrived at the other end of it. So now it is simply when those moments happen, it's a momentary experience. I prefer to label anxiousness as anticipation. Oh, I'm feeling a lot of anticipation. I wonder what change is happening. When we get down, because we experience being down, I'm like, oh, it's a universal law of rhythm. I'm having a quiet restoration time. I wonder what's next for me. And I stay in that curiosity of what could be instead of the lack or the disharmony I'm experiencing in that moment. I want you to keep your mind as open as possible. As open as possible. Anything's possible. Dragons, possible. And what if everything we're going through is orchestrated through universal flow? What if this is the grand awakening, the great awakening, the return of Christ, Christ-like consciousness, aka the vibration of unity and love? What if this is the best thing that's ever going to happen to us? What if we are giving birth to something new? Play that game. What if? What if? Because that's going to allow you to move into desired outcome, love, unity, kindness, patience, trust. I want you to reside there over the coming month, not go into what's going to happen. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Because I get a lot of those questions. I get a lot of private emails on like, oh, what do I do? Breathe, go hug a tree, snuggle a pet. Don't look for the things you don't want to see. That's how we're going to navigate this. Remember, the majority of thought creates the outcome individually and collectively, the majority. So if 50% of humanity is in fear, 51% of humanity, what are we doing? That'll be the outcome. And we're really good at taking the bait of fear. So, yeah. So get your faces on social media. Share this with people you love. It's time to put our thought towards what will be, could be, the possibilities, instead of the doom and gloom. And that's essential as we move through this. Okay. The 21st, 22nd of September, Sarah Rose and I are hosting a virtual retreat. We have extended the capacity because the first level sold out right away. So we've doubled the capacity limits that we can do for that. This is in high demand. This is about standing in your divine path, on your divine path, in your divine purpose. It's 2 days. It is recorded, so you can get the recordings or you can join live. There will be a Q&A at the end of both of those days. It's powerful, powerful content. I'm going to teach a lot of the content from Fully Awaken and Ascend, and really shifting through healing the shadow pieces and moving into unity and love. It's very powerful. So diamondo.com, you can find that. It's the virtual retreat in September. That's still open. And I'm going to do a live tomorrow at 1 p.m. So Wednesday, the 30th. 1 p.m. Eastern time, I will be going live. I would love for you to attend. I'm going to try and address as many of the questions as I can in that chat. So I'm going to open up the timeline to be there for as long as is required for me. So I've kind of cleared a big block of my day for that. And I'm going to do some channeled messages, same way I always do. So you'll get to select 1, 2, 3, or a combination of what resonates with you and get direct messaging from your higher self and your guides. And it'll be channeled through Galactic Council, Gaia, and whoever else decides to show up. So there's that. All right. Unity, here we go. I love you guys. Bye.